think this next segment of our show is going to be a little bit personal for both Daryl and me. And Daryl, join in as you feel free. About a year and a half ago, I met a young man. His name is Smitty. He's in studio with us now, and we hung out a little bit. He loaned me a book on radio, which was terrific. We talked about voiceover work. We talked a lot about all kinds of stuff. And then he kind of disappeared, and I found out through the grapevine that Smitty was diagnosed with cancer, and he came in last week, and I thought, here's an opportunity to find out what goes through somebody's head like that, and he's agreed to it. Again, if I say something that you don't want to hear, Smitty, or don't want to talk about,
don't worry about me. I don't think you could scare me or offend me at this stage, Mark.
I don't want to offend. It's not offending. So
no, you go for it, man.
All right. Well, so you go to the doctor. You weren't feeling well. Tell us what happened.
Well, it was just, a little over a year ago. You're correct. I wasn't feeling well. Went to my doctor. I knew I'd had some liver problems before. Over the years, I had hepatitis C that I'd had for years. And so I went to the doctor, and he wanted to get me in there and do a liver biopsy and do MRI on me. And sure enough, the news came back that I have some liver tumors, 2 liver tumors. So at that stage, it kind of scared me. I asked him, is it cancer? He goes, yes, it's cancer. And that was probably one of the scariest days of my life.
I'll bet. Was he just emphatic? I mean, he just said, yeah, yes?
Yeah, he was pretty flat about it. He didn't color-code it or anything, or sweeten it up for me. He just told me that's what's going on. And what he suggested is you probably want to talk to UCLA and get on the list down there for a liver transplant. So I walk into his office in the afternoon thinking things are okay. By the time I leave, I'm on the phone with the liver transplant coordinator at UCLA, setting up a day to go down and have some lab work done.
We'll come back to the liver transplant in a minute. What went through your head when he said, Smitty, it's the big C?
Well, Mark, it's scary. I mean, because it's always something that happens to somebody else, not you. So,
yet we're all touched by cancer.
Oh yes, we all know somebody that's had it, somebody that's died from it, somebody that survived it. It's a big word in our world, and it was pretty terrifying at that time. My wife was with me, and she just basically couldn't speak. I mean, we looked at each other with oh heck look in our eyes, but we didn't discuss it too much at that time. It was such a surprise. After
it wore off, maybe a couple hours later, were you in? How long were you in? I mean, was it shock?
Yeah, I think initially it was shock, because I think so. I didn't feel right. Something's wrong, but I didn't think it was me cancer. So probably later that night, we just kind of discussed it and said, okay, we try to put a game plan together. We're going down to UCLA. We had a little cry together, and we tried to put our game plan together to fight this thing.
How long have you been married?
25 years, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, thank you. I think you've got a few years on me, though.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Well, you must have got married when you were like 9 years old or something.
Oh, bless your heart.
I think I'm way older than you.
All right. We're going to leave it like that. I have a birthday in 30 days from today, from the date we're recording this. And I can't believe that I'm going to be that old. But I'm not going to say how old. Anyway, we'll move on. Enough about me.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's
You're right.
move on. Let's talk about you. So a few days passed. Did you stop working? I know you're working now. You were.
Yeah, I'm still partially employed. At that time, it was just like, well, I can't do anything until I can get down to UCLA. But believe me, when I'd wake up in the morning, boys, the first thing would be on my mind. I wasn't worried about a cup of coffee. I wasn't worried about looking out, see if it's a nice sunny day. The first thing that hit me is, oh boy, I got cancer. What am I going to do?
And what about? I mean, have you been religious through your life or not? Has this made you more spiritual? Yes or no?
I think I've remained about the same, to be honest with you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put yourself?
I would put myself probably about 6 or 7.
Okay, spiritual.
But I'm spiritual.
Okay.
I know there's a God out there. I may not know his name, but I know he's out there.
Damn it, I want to not only know his name, I want to know about his mysteries. I don't believe in this stuff, but that's another stuff.
We're all going to have to wait to find that out.
I guess so. I'm not wild about that part of his plan. What about your wife?
She's probably equally as religious as I am, about the same. She went to Catholic school, was raised Catholic and all that, but she has since kind of broken the tradition. Yeah,
got it.
Yeah,
okay.
She believes in God, but she doesn't necessarily know exactly what his name is.
And what about thoughts like, well, anger?
Oh yeah, I went through that too.
Tell me about that.
Why me? Why is this hitting me? I try to be a good person. I try to do things right. I try to help other people. Why is this happening to me and not somebody that's driving around in cars, shooting people for no reason or robbing banks? So you kind of reason that out and you realize, well, it's not fair, but if you want fair, you go down to Pomona. That's where the county fair is. Life is not fair.
And what was the next emotion? You're angry, you're mad.
Well, I've got to get a handle on this thing. I've got to try to educate myself on what's going on here. What type of cancer do I have? What are my options?
Mm-hmm.
How can I treat this? How am I going to handle it? I can't just sit here and wait for things to happen. I've got to move forward. We've got to get a game plan together here. And that's where my wife, Rosemary, came in. She's really just picked up the pieces, my emotional pieces, and aimed me in the right direction. So off we go to UCLA.
Let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that would be insurance. Has insurance been good, bad, or indifferent?
Well, without insurance, I'd probably be living under the Victoria Bridge at this time, because this whole situation and all the tests and biopsies and stuff I had to go through down at UCLA cost a fortune, and luckily our insurance picked up most of it. She has a insurance program where she works. She works for the dental hygienist. She actually is a dental hygienist, works for a dentist, and that's her medical that she supplies, not the dentist.
Right, of course.
But thank God we have that, or I would have been in a world of hurt.
Has your opinion about insurance changed over the last year?
Yes, you really have to play the game by their rules. They really make you jump through a lot of hoops. Be sure to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. They're in the business of running a business. Of
denying claims and
stalling
claims.
Yes, we went through it, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with the treatment we got, but we had to fight for it.
Our guest is Smitty. He has cancer. We are talking about the last year or so since his diagnosis. During the next half hour, we're going to talk about the last half hour of our show. We're going to talk about surfing, and we're going to talk about International Surfing Day coming up next week here on Late Night Health. What went through your mind that kept changing? I mean, has it changed? I mean, you're in shock. You're angry. It's why me.
Well, the emotions are constantly changing. I have good days and I have bad days. Someday I'll wake up and things are looking pretty sunny. Other days it's easier to cry than get out of bed, to be honest with you. Hopefully I don't have too many of those days. But as the disease progressed, I had to find out, well, what are my chances of beating this? Where am I coming along with it? How am I on the transplant list? And all of the above. So it was a whole process that gets me where I am right now with it. And it's not looking good at this time. I went to UCLA, and again, they ran a lot of tests. Unfortunately, the tumor was too large, and I have some complications, and the cancer actually moved from my liver into my lungs also now. So I have cancer in both organs. It's beyond operating at this time, and it's terminal. I'm going to die from this.
Wow.
And now it's a matter of time. So different doctors, project different times. But originally it was like, can they save me or what?
Well, during the next few minutes that we spend together, I want to talk about, end of life. Oh my. How do you think about that? Is the world going to go away because I'm not in it anymore? I mean, I'd like to discuss that with you. Our guest is Smitty. He is one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and it's always been a pleasure to talk with, and I'm very thankful that you're spending some time with us today here on Late Night Health.
I'm glad to be here, Mark. I'm glad to be here.
We're going to take some time out, and when we come back, we'll continue our discussion about the big C, cancer, with Smitty here on Late Night Health.
Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-430-6722. 800-430-6722. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-430-6722. 800-430-6722.
Have you ever wondered how you could make a difference in someone's life? What if you could help hundreds or even thousands of children? You might think it impossible, but it's within your reach. Right now, today, students in the U.S. rank 32nd in world math skills. It's time for our children to catch up. And you can help. Become an owner of one of the world's fastest growing franchises, Mathnasium. Mathnasium is the leading math-only learning center in the U.S. Its only purpose is to make our kids better at math. Imagine helping hundreds, even thousands of students in your community improve in school and raise their self-esteem, all while doing something you truly love. Call us at 800-681-1103 to learn more about Mathnasium's exciting franchise opportunities. That's 800-681-1103 to learn how you can make a difference. Doing something you truly love. That's 800-681-1103. 800-681-1103.